So I guess we're gonna have to, talk loud enough for the phone to hear. Hopefully the phone
I
can.
mean, if the microphone is like this one on that one, it should be good.
Yeah, I think so.
So,
How you doing, Larry?
I'm sleepy, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's now a bad time. I mean, it's pretty rainy out there. That's probably put you to sleep.
Probably so. This is what they call cuddling weather.
I don't want to talk about that with just me and you here.
I mean, I wasn't implying that we'd be cuddling.
Okay,
I'm just saying this is the type of weather that you would, if you had a significant other, you wouldn't want to be cuddled up watching a movie on.
That mixed with the fact that you kind of like leaned forward, like towards up. It was kind of okay. All right. Anyway,
because I'm talking to you.
that makes sense.
What, you would lean this way? Yeah, man. Nah, I'm probably out of the frame. If I lean this way,
What?
say, hey, man.
Cutting weather. Yeah.
John
Bertho. That's the kind of vibes I'm getting. When I'm talking, I look everywhere else except the person I'm talking to.
Hey, man, it's called acting. Anyways, this is another episode of The Big
and Short of It All. Hey, everybody.
I'm Larry.
I'm James.
I'm The Big.
I look that way when I say James, like there's another camera. We have multiple cameras in the studio. Unfortunately, my video editing software only inputs one feed at a time, so you won't be able to see us on that camera over there.
What's up, John? He can't talk. He just nods.
Yeah, because we don't want to mess up the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people talking off camera just doesn't go well.
Because they're not mic'd up.
Even though you are listening, you could be listening on a podcast and you can't see us at all.
Because we're mic'd up.
Yeah, exactly.
Guess what my mic is?
Is it? No, that's a mic.
Don't keep it away. They don't know. They can't see it. But I know where the mic is.
I don't. Where's the mic?
Chance, we mic'd up before the show. You don't remember?
Well, I had to put on a shirt, so I was in a different room. So different dress. I didn't see where they put yours on.
It's okay, man. Jessica mic'd me up before the. Yeah, we got people.
Jessica's nice.
She alright.
I'm thinking about putting her on with my daughter's friend. That's a male one.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
I was gonna let you go down that road by yourself for a second. I was a spectator.
We can leave it alone. Just keep going.
I was like, where is he going with this? Oh, my stomach is out. We'll cut that part out. All right.
Yes.
You said you had something you want to talk about. I'm gonna let you get what you got off your chest.
Well, one of them I think is going to require a little bit more of a kind of like research. Putting actors versus another actor, their whole career. And initially, the first thing I think of, I know we kind of probably ended on and talked about it, but Will Smith is like a big summer blockbuster kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of somebody good to go against him, and nobody came up immediately that's like, I guess, on par with him. Obviously, you have Tom Cruise, but I don't know if Tom Cruise is the best pick.
So you say go against, like what do you mean by go against, just for the people who don't know?
I would say in our for us, probably pick their 10 best movies, whether you want to go by performance, box office, critic score, whatever it is, or just what you think are your top 10. And then put it against one person versus one person. You can do in a bracket format, and then whoever has the most.
So basically, kind of like the verses with the music, except for actors.
Yeah. And then what you could do is just make a whole bracket all together, and then week after week we pick one person, and then once we go through the first round, then we have the winners of those to go against, and then all of a sudden we have the best actor of all time.
What does the winner win?
Our recognition.
So the people who don't win don't get our recognition?
I mean, they were in the, they... What are you doing to me, Larry?
I'm just asking a question, man. So they get like a, what's the term when you don't make the top 10? It's like the...
Consolation?
Yeah, not consolation, but like the honorary... What is it?
Honorable mentions?
That.
Yeah.
They get an honorable mention. Like, their movie's cool, but they're not this person that won.
Yeah, they get a nod. Like, there's a lot of, like, I was looking at... Yeah, exactly. There was a list, and a lot of the lists had a lot of MCU actors on it. I was like, you know, like Scarlett Johansson, she's done things outside of the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
But how much do you really know about what she did outside of the MCU? I know Lucy, you know, Marriage Story, I think it's called.
Oh yeah, with her and Adam Driver.
Yeah, that's all I can think of.
So I have a bigger question, and this may sidetrack us.
Okay.
I want you to finish your thing.
No, go for it.
So there's always been a conversation of like people who play like roles, like superhero roles. Mm-hmm. Are people coming to the movies for them, or are they coming because of that character? Like for instance, like Iron Man. Like even though Robert Downey Jr. is a great Iron Man in the movie, and he's a great actor in general, is part of the draw for the movie him, or is it the IP? Is it Iron Man in general?
I definitely think for superhero movies, it is for the character. Because, I mean, it's not like, you know, if you want to go to different extremes, you know, Thor was different between, you know, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But otherwise, they're typically the same person. So it's like you're not really getting a different product.
But what if you had, but what if you had an actor who was horrible in the role? Would people still come just because he's playing a certain superhero?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if you're just playing Thor or, you know, wherever, Robert Downey Jr., they're coming for, you know, the role. They're not coming for the acting.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is like, okay, like for instance, Iron Man he had his first solo movie, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say people heard, oh, Robert Downey Jr. is playing Iron Man, right? And you go watch it, and it's trash. Okay. And you find out, oh, they're making another Iron Man. Do you still go just because it's Iron Man? Or do you be like, I ain't really like that Robert Downey Jr. version of Iron Man, so I don't know if I want to see it for real.
I'm trying to put myself in the mindset back in the day. For me, obviously, I was into, you know, Star Wars and all kind of other stuff. So regardless, I mean, it was fantastical. It wasn't like grounded, so I was interested, even if it was bad. But for the average person, somebody who maybe saw Robert Downey Jr. in other movies, I would assume that they probably would skip Iron Man 2 if they didn't like Iron Man 1.
I mean, me personally, I feel that I just look at stuff differently, man. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm more, I don't know though, because if it's just Iron Man, if I go see the first, because I'm not like a big comic book person. Like, I don't really. Right. I'm only a superhero movie based on the superhero movies that I've seen. Like, I have no prior like love for it. Like, it's not like, oh man, they finally adapted my favorite superhero into. I don't have all that.
And you're not like reading into any kind of.
Yeah, I'm just like, this looks like it's gonna be a good movie. Iron Man, never heard of him. Let's give it a shot. So if I go and I watch it, and Robert Downey Jr. is horrible in it, I'm less likely to want to watch the second one, right? Because I have no love for the character. But I can imagine somebody who loves Iron Man being like, I'll at least give the second one a try.
I know we're recording video now, so these, you know, but there's a bird that just it looked like he's trying to get in the window.
He won't be a guest. Take care of that, John.
As soon as you said that, he left.
Because John took care of it. They don't see it, but John took care because John's over there. Appreciate you, man. I got a hamburger on me. Just one.
No pizza.
No pizza. Just one.
All right. So okay, let me try to you know put that to somebody else. So let's just say you know I pick an actor. I mean the first two that came to my mind, Keanu Reeves, which I'm not you know a big fan of.
I'm sorry. I'm still. I just got through watching John Wick 4, so stuff is in my mind.
Okay, well, did you ultimately like the movie?
Oh, no, finish your thought.
And then the other person was Ewan McGregor, which neither one of them are actors that I'm like, oh, I really like everything they do. So I was not really going on the right track. But let's just say I did like Ewan McGregor. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the Birds of Prey movie. You know, I didn't really care for Obi-Wan, but I still watch his stuff.
What's a good Ewan McGregor movie? Or I feel like I said his name correctly. Him. Yeah. What's something that he was in that you liked that you can think of off the top of your head?
Well, I just Star Wars episodes 1, 2, 3.
Hey, mommy.
Wow, that Why is that not on vibrate? Sorry, guys.
He was in Hey Mommy?
And I know what else has he been in? I know it's anyway. So let's just stick with that. Star Wars 1, 2, and 3.
So you like the Obi-Wan from the originals?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Now what I was gonna say about Keanu Reeves is when you brought up Keanu, and I was thinking about him and John Wick. And like I like Keanu and John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
I like Keanu as a person.
Mm-hmm.
However, actor.
Right.
When it comes to lines,
he's very one-dimensional.
Yeah. I'm back. I think I'm gonna need a gun.
The high table.
It's the same thing. But
I can probably count his lines on 2 hands.
But it works.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to like what's the movie he had a lot of lines in? Constantine.
I was gonna say Bill and Ted.
I didn't watch, but
I don't.
Not the new. You talking about the new one, or just in general?
Any of them.
I don't remember the old ones like that.
Me either.
But I know I just watched Constantine not too long ago, and he'd have a lot of lines, but he had a lot more than John Wick, and so it's very noticeable. Like I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Just who am I to say this? Because I'm not an actor. Never acted a day in my life, unless you count me playing Jesus in the play at church.
I saw that. You were pretty good at it.
Hey man, nobody rules like I did. Just gonna say that. But when I watch movies with Keanu, I'd be like, how did he do this? How did he get into this? Yeah, I know he's related to an actor. His dad's an actor, or he has people in his family that. But I'm just kind of like, this guy?
Could be looks too. That's how.
Come on, man.
That's
Really?
so first of all, people say he don't age. I mean, he doesn't look like he's really getting older.
No, he doesn't.
And then some women they get, and I'm not not trying to be sexist, but some women are found or just let's just say discovered just based on their looks, and then whether they transition from modeling to acting or anything like that, there could be ways, and then maybe his
So what you're saying is he's not the best. He's not the best person when it comes to lines, but he has a nice face to look at when he says the lines that he says.
and he could have put it down on somebody.
Okay.
There's lots of different ways that people
I didn't
can.
think we were going that far, but okay. So, okay, this is what I want to do now.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to go back and rewatch Speed. Because that's the very first movie that I remember him being in.
That's one everybody loves. Like,
And I want to watch that and compare it to the movies now and see what the difference was.
I don't know if you should. I think it wasn't in Point Break too.
Yes.
Okay. That's like 2 different Keanu's.
That's the point. But that's the point. I want to see if. I know they're different because, of course, over time and as you act, the more movies you do and stuff your acting kind of changes, especially with the roles. But I just want to see from a basic point, does he still kind of have like the similar delivery, or is he kind of does he talk kind of the same, like, oh, this bus is going too fast? I don't, you know what I'm saying? I just want to see. I just want to go back and see, because I remember liking the movies. Like I ain't gonna say love. I remember liking Speed. I remember liking Point Break, but I think I liked Speed because Sandra Bullock was in it, and so that played a big part. But it wasn't a bad movie at all.
So what I want to say is, obviously, it seems like Keanu Reeves is staying less and less in this movie. So you say this bus is going too fast, and I was like, well, how can we shorten that for modern day Keanu? Bus fast, and now he's Neanderthal. That's so I don't.
Yeah, or he could just be like, "What you got to say, sir?" Broom.
All right, Vin Diesel.
He just walks in. What's going on? Room. Off. No, okay. For the record, I like Keanu. I'm not trying to crap on him. I like Keanu. It's just when I watch his movies, I just be like,
You wonder.
Like, okay, case in point, since you asked me about John Wick, I finished John Wick 4 and watched it. And we kind of talked about this off air.
Okay.
But after watching John Wick 4, and I won't get into spoilers because in case somebody hadn't, because it's still fairly a new movie.
Right.
And like I said, maybe it's because I like Donnie Yen. And I really like Donnie Yen. He's been in a lot of stuff that I really like. I kind of, just based on the way the story was set up in 4, I felt like he would have been a better John Wick. Because it's the way it's set up, they have similar paths. Like they both had a family that they want to get out of the game for. But of course, something happened that pulled them back in. So they're basically the same. It's just one is blind and one isn't.
I'm trying to think of what it would be like if it was done again. So if you just say like just same old movie, just everything, just a different actor. As far as movie quality, obviously lines. I feel like John Wick's lines are probably written and tailored toward Keanu.
Mm-hmm.
So now that it's Donnie Yen, would he have more lines?
Probably so.
Then that would change the character, like the mysteriousness, the mystique.
Or you can leave it the same. Because I guess overall, the big reason why I feel like he would be a better one is because I feel like his action scenes would be a lot better than Keanu's. That's really what it boils down to. Because he's a better action star, especially because he's played in a lot more action type movies, especially like martial arts type movies.
Yeah.
So he would do better on the action side. Plus, he has the line delivery to where he can do lines if you need him to, but he don't have to do that. He can still, because even in John Wick 4, he didn't really talk a lot. He still was kind of relegated to like in the shadows type of person. But I just feel like, and like I said, maybe I'm riding a Donnie Yen high because I like him in Ip Man and all these other great movies. But when he came in, I was like, I want to see him. And then here comes Keanu stumbling in. Like, no, Donnie Yen, get back to him.
So now I'm thinking of Rogue One, which he wasn't the star of, but he was in it, and he just I'm one with the Force, and the Force is what I didn't. It's not boding too well. I know obviously he's had movies that he was good in that I like, but I don't know. I'm just going back to like Rogue One. So when you were talking about him getting hit by a car, there was a scene in the movie.
You talking about John Wick?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the roundabout scene.
Mm-hmm.
That
is not real.
Yeah, it really. That's ultimately the biggest reason that like brought the movie down to like my least favorite. That and maybe a couple other things. Oh, right. I want to talk to you about that. That's why. Okay, so the reason why is because like the other John Wick movies. I'm not saying John Wick is the most realistic.
Okay,
but
I'd say it's really not.
Yeah, but that one was like never in the other movies where I like looked at it and was like, it took away from the movie. Like it took me out of the movie is what I'm trying to say. So the roundabout scene and no other John Wick movie did that to me. So that's why ultimately I put it. And like I said, I still like the movie. There aren't any John Wick movies that I don't like, but one of them has to go last, and it was that one. This one.
I feel you. I would say for me, the one I would put as last. I can't tell you which ones I like better. Like I don't know my number one, but I can tell you my last one would be the one with Halle Berry.
Yep. Initially, actually 2 is okay.
But the only reason why that one would be my last one is because the stories and the action are better than the other ones. This one, the story in this one, I probably put this one number one now that I think about it, because I like the story in this one. Even though it wasn't like super complex, it was still a good story. And okay, I'll say it this way: it was a good story for a fourth one because you already build upon the world that you already know. So it's like it just kind of just elevated all of that. And then of course you got Donnie Yen, who I really love. And then I guess it's a couple things. So it's Donnie Yen, it's the story, and then you make Donnie Yen, who's a great martial artist, you make him blind. So now maybe I'm adding on, because I'm attaching my love for blind characters in anime too. So now I'm just like, because usually if you got somebody in the anime who's blind in any kind of martial arts anime, oh, he cold. He's legit. So I was like, as soon as he came in, I saw he was blind. I was like, oh yeah, he gonna get down.
So one thing that really, me, it's like the little things in movies that I like and it kind of elevates things. So I was mixed on Donnie Yen because, which makes, okay, so let me just go ahead and say it. But there are parts in the movie where he's doing these things, he's blind, and you think that he shouldn't be able to do them.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's parts in the movie where he's shooting people, they die, and then he's still shooting. Like he starts shooting at nothing, or he misses shots. So it's like you have the I don't know if you want to call it dichotomy, but you have him shooting people that he can't see, but he's also shooting people that aren't there. So it's like if it's on purpose, is it because you're saying that he's not perfect? If it's on purpose, is it because of comedy, or is it bad editing? And somebody was supposed to be there.
I think me personally, I would look at it as like kind of like overkill. Like I'm just gonna make sure. Like I know you're there because I sent you, and even though you fail, I'm just gonna keep shooting just to make sure because maybe you hop back up. I don't know, but I'm gonna hit the clip either way it go. That's how I looked at it.
Yeah.
There was only one scene to where like it had me question his blindness, to where I was like, I don't know how you did this.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if I don't. You just saw it, so I don't remember it as vividly. But there's one thing I was thinking of.
I'm just gonna say 2 words.
Okay.
Maybe to jog in there because I don't want to spoil. Playing cards.
Oh no, I don't remember.
So there was a card game.
Okay. Yep.
You know what I'm talking about now?
Mm-hmm.
And he had cards.
Right. Okay.
How?
Yes, that makes sense.
How? That was the only time in the movie I questioned his. I was like, maybe he's legally.
I was
blind.
gonna say, yep, that's
He's
probably
not
what it is.
fully blind. Because I'm just gonna say it because it's not really a big spoiler.
Yeah.
They gave him the cards. He holds them up like this. He goes 3 9s. I was like, how did he? Nobody told him. They weren't blind people specific cards. Like they had braille on the back. They were regular cards. He's just like 3 9s and 2.
Because, like you said, John Wick isn't a very believable. So John Wick and Donnie Yen. I'm using the fake name, real name. Keanu Reeves and Donnie Yen. They had some of a connection. Obviously, they weren't complete antagonists because either one of them would have died immediately. So they were somewhat kind of helping each other or prolonging the inevitable. Yeah. So I'm just going to say that John Wick was sending some kind of code to him, whether he was like tapping the cards on the table because he could see the reflection in his glasses. I know it doesn't make sense.
That was the only time. Cause unlike you, I get what you say as far as stuff happens and it kind of takes you out of it. Mm-hmm. I don't have that happen to me as a lot, as much. Because for me, as long as I'm in, if I start watching a movie or a show, as long as I'm invested in the show or the movie, invested in the story or whatever's going on, stuff could happen. It's not gonna take me out. I would notice it, of course. I'd be like, oh man, that's crazy. But it doesn't take me out of the experience because I'm still invested to see what's happening. Yeah. But if I'm not pulled in. If I'm not if I don't give a crap about the people, even if I notice something, it's that's crazy. But that, it was more so kind of okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's a small. Because no movie is perfect. No, I can't say any movie that I've ever seen is perfect. There's always going to be little things that you're not necessarily I don't like or just something that's
little nitpicks.
Yeah, exactly.
You think Aladdin was perfect? That's your movie, man.
It is, and now that you put me on the spot, I can't think of anything, but I'm sure there's something. I'm sure there's something.
It's perfect. Perfect songs, perfect beat, perfect character. Not the live action. Yeah. Animated.
I'm
perfect
sure.
Carpet ride.
I'm gonna have to go back now.
Same, man. You know that's your movie, man. It's okay to say it's perfect, James.
So since that is one other thing, there was 2 other things that I want to talk about with the John Wick 4. So the same card scene, the person who was, I guess, heading ahead of the scene.
Yeah.
So at one point, I don't know, whatever. Because I mean, people run, whatever. At one point he runs away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he John Wick. I'm just gonna say it now. Spoiler warning. But John Wick gets to the point where he can't catch the guy. Like he has. I can't. I don't know if it's I mean,
I'm trying to play the scene in my mind that you're talking about.
So they're up. Let's say upstairs. And obviously, you know, dude has henchmen, and somehow John Wick gets tossed downstairs.
Okay.
Dude has a clear way to just run away and get away. Because obviously he feels like his life is in danger. This is John Wick. He's going to die.
No, he wants to kill John Wick, though.
But why is he running? Like, he was running because he no longer had the upper hand.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to buy time, though. I don't know. I don't really have an answer for you, James.
But I guess when it comes down to it, he decided to turn back around. And, yeah, that...
I just want to say he was very flexible for the type of person he was.
And he looks so familiar. So I feel like I know him from something. Do you think...
He's a penguin in the Batman.
No. Okay. I was going to say
similar though, don't they?
Yeah. That's probably why I'm thinking about it. So I don't know if is he really that size, or was it like a big suit?
It looks like it's probably a suit.
Yeah.
Because especially the way he... I'm not saying big people can't move,
right.
But especially the way he moved, it looked like he just had on a suit.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. But now, all in all, though, like, I enjoyed the movie John Wick 4. My only issue is, and I know they're probably going to do it, I would end it there.
No, they already announced that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I would end it, which brings me to another point, but I'm gonna say this first. I would leave it there. Mm-hmm. You have 4 films that are good, good to great. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have, like I said, maybe some people don't like the third one, maybe don't like the second one. Yeah. But overall, as a whole, most people like John Wick's, franchise, what you want to call it.
Yep.
I would end it at 4, especially the way it ends. I would leave it right there.
If they were to continue it, just name it something else.
Yeah.
Obviously, it wouldn't, have as much of an impact because people have the name John Wick. But if you're going to move on, name it something else. Obviously, if John Wick, if that's the end of his story, then why would you continue John Wick if he's not going to be in it?
Or you could do the typical Hollywood thing, which is not always the best. Mm-hmm. You could take this time, spin off a show about whoever, or do a prequel show to when John Wick was how he was before he got out the first time. Mm-hmm. Do that. Because then with that way you could probably do Keanu, or you could do a different, because he would still have to look like Keanu, because it wasn't like he was super young. Unless you do a prequel, because apparently he was a part of he was Russian, he was this, that, I don't know. Right. So you can probably do something showing that where he was younger, and then shoot to Keanu maybe before he got out. You can do that, but I would leave it right here. I know, like I said, they've already confirmed it. I just don't. At this point, I don't see. I mean, especially the way it ends, I don't see the point.
You get into Fast and Furious territory.
I just don't see because it's like. Spoilers. I'm just gonna say it. Spoilers. Okay. You've already, at this point, you have already secured your freedom from the table. Mm-hmm. The whole point of these 4 movies has been I got pulled back in. Second one, I don't want to do it anymore, but I owe you a debt. Mm-hmm. Third one is, I'm trying to get away. Now, you go to the table, you fight your way out, you get your freedom. What else do you do?
Your friend, you already said spoilers, his friend got killed, so he has to take revenge.
Oh, but he got his hotel restored.
Mm-hmm. But your friend, actually he has 2, well, I guess he already got revenge.
What friend got killed?
Daniel. Oh, wait, yeah, Daniel.
So you're just assuming he got killed?
Yeah.
They don't show it.
I mean, they don't. Well, I guess you're not saying that John Wick died, but they didn't.
I'm not sure but that's what I'm saying. Like, even if he isn't dead, you want it out.
Well, even
go live your life. People think you're dead. Just go live your life.
So even if Donnie Yen isn't dead, maybe something happens that Donnie Yen is he gets injured, put in coma, whatever, to the point where John Wick feels like he needs to get involved. So he doesn't necessarily have to die.
But here's the thing: even if Donnie Yen dies, if I'm John Wick, I know why. I'm the reason. So I'm gonna revenge myself. Because if I went in the hotel, they would have showed up. They would have killed him. Donnie Yen would have been there in the first place. Even in the fight, Donnie Yen says, "I don't want to do this." He tries to walk away, and old buddy's like, "No, you gonna fight me? Okay, now I have to kill you."
Yeah, and at the same time, I mean, he really respected the person's parent. So why?
Because they're all friends and whatever. So it's like, because like I said, Donnie Yen basically walked away. It was like he had his back turned to him, walking away, saying, "You know what? I'm done. I'm leaving." Because he even says, "You lost," so he was leaving, and the guy charges him, and she saw all of this, but yet she still was like, "I gotta kill you because you killed my dad."
Yeah.
So even if she kills him, unless for some reason John Wick becomes super oblivious and like, I don't know how he died. Now I gotta kill 90 people to find out. Oh, you killed him because of what happened in the fourth movie. Got it.
You know what? I mean, okay. So she's gonna be, what's his name? Shang-Chi's sister. So she's gonna amass this whole big army. And technically, since, like you said, John Wick had a part to do with her father's death, so she's going on just a revenge spree. She's going to kill Donnie Yen. She's going to kill John Wick. And, of course, the hotel Ian McShane guy is an outlet, so she has to blow up the hotel.
But why would she kill John Wick?
Because he brought
She
all
talked
that
to
mess
him in the
to
subway and she said, "Hey, my dad died. Either you kill him or I do." She had no beef with John. At that point,
yeah, I was gonna say
she had no beef with him.
It can be written to her for her to, maybe Donnie Yen puts her in her place, and then she decides. I don't know, man. I'm trying to.
That's the whole point.
I know.
The whole point is there's too much. There's too many what ifs.
Yes.
Just leave it where it is, and be done with it.
I
Make
agree.
a show, do a series, whatever, and that doesn't directly tie into the movie's storyline, and just be done.
So ultimately, I thought, before everything came to a head in this movie, I thought that he was going to actually go to the high table, like just take revenge on them. So
I did too.
That could be a route that they go. Obviously, with the story that happened now, that you'd have to really write something else.
But that's what I'm saying. You giving him freedom from everything. What more can he do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I know he's, I'm thinking I'm back. So, I mean, obviously, we all want him to be back in the mix. But he doesn't want to be in this kind of world anymore. So,
no.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
just let it be done. Granted, I'm not a writer, so I'm pretty sure they can come up with something to make it some kind of sense. And it'll be probably a good movie. I'll be right back on the train like, oh, that was awesome. I know they can do that.
Yeah.
But and like I said again, because I just got through watching it probably the last couple of days, I'm just looking at it like, this is a good place to end it.
I agree.
Do the Seinfeld thing.
But you did say that you would go see the next one.
I will.
Exactly. So why wouldn't they make another one?
But this was just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Oh yeah, but Matrix 4 happened.
Yeah. But they put that on streaming. They knew.
If COVID wouldn't have happened, that would have been in theaters.
It would have been.
Oh yeah.
I know.
It's the Matrix. Of course it would.
I know. Hollywood, man.
Which brings up. I understand. I know we talked about it. I understand why Mortal Kombat 2 was going to happen. But
I had a point.
Go ahead.
No, I forgot because you had said something that we got into reviewing the movie. And I had another because the movie made me think of something, but I can't remember now. What were you about to say?
It made me think of Secret Invasion. Like I've been thinking of a lot of things to bring up, but Secret Invasion is the only one that I can remember right now. But we were talking about Hollywood, and while me and other people feel like Mortal Kombat 2 shouldn't happen, of course did well. People liked it, and it's going to happen. Oh, excuse me.
I mean, I'd say at least give it. Because here's my thing. A lot of people who were quote unquote diehard fans didn't like the first one, right? But it still did well financially. The original Mortal Kombat had a sequel. A lot of people didn't like. You might as well give this a second one too.
Yeah, I mean it's WB.
It's only fair.
It's WB. So in my eyes, you know, they're thinking about money, but they're not learning from their mistakes. They're making bad.
But how do you know? You haven't seen the second one. The second, they could make the second one, and it could be a whole lot better than the first one, and everybody loves it.
I hear you, but WB's track record, it's, you know, even though, so I like The Flash. It wasn't, you know, a great movie. I didn't love it, blah, blah, blah. I liked it. All their superhero movies are mostly bad. What else? Dune? I don't know. I'm willing to watch. What I'm trying to say.
The first one, so.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say. Just I have no faith in it. I don't know. I like you say, it could be good. I mean, it's Mortal Kombat, so some level of enjoyment. I'm going to have some level of enjoyment for it.
I mean, I get your point as far as like the track record. I'm just simply saying, you don't know. Even though the track record shows one thing, you still don't know. You see what I'm saying? Like there's always that one in a million possibility chance that the second one can come out and it could be like, you know what? I actually like this. Or it could just be, this is better than the first one.
Yeah, and I'm trying to use Flash. I mean, there was no like first Flash movie, so I can't really use that. But I can just say the other Flash appearances I didn't like, but I like the Flash movie. So there is hope. There is hope.
So, like I said, that's all I'm saying. But also, like I said, my point is, even though, because I know who you're talking about. Well, we talk about it at work. But my point is like, even though a lot of people feel like they shouldn't do the second one because the first one, how it was, you had a second Mortal Kombat that a lot of people didn't like.
Yeah.
It's only fair you give this a second one.
Yeah.
Now, if the second one comes out and people, oh, that was just even worse, or that's trash, and they say we're making a third one, now at that point, okay, now you're just doing too much.
Yeah, and you know, regardless of if they stay with this, I don't want to, let's say iteration, or if they don't, another one's going to come out. Whether, you know, they say, oh, you know what, the first one, even though it did well, you know, it didn't resonate with everybody. Let's shelve the second one. You know, 10, 15 years down the line, they'll probably make another one. So they're going to make another one.
As long as they take Cole out, that's fine.
How would you, I guess he could die immediately, but how would you make the story and take him out? Because he's been so...
you center it around Scorpion.
What do you mean?
Because Scorpion was in hell the whole time, but then he came back at the end. So now he becomes the main person. Because him and Sub-Zero still alive.
And it's not like they made Liu Kang the primary or the chosen one.
Because he could still, you know, become whoever too. Because it's been a minute since I watched it. But outside of Cole being the main character for some stupid reason, the whole point he was there was he was a conduit to bring Scorpion back.
Would you say Scorpion is more iconic than, yeah, actually, but would you say he's more iconic than Liu Kang? Like when you think Mortal Kombat, who do you think of?
I would say it's a big three when it comes to Mortal Kombat. You think of Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Liu Kang. So a close fourth would be Raiden. If you're like an old Mortal Kombat person,
yeah. Okay.
Like, that would be but the big three would be Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Liu Kang.
Because there was a poll on YouTube, and they were saying who was the most iconic villain for Mortal Kombat. He had Shang Tsung. I know this doesn't really have to do with, you know, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and all. But me, if I was to pick a big three, right now, as it is now, it would be Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and even though
you want to say Katana, don't you?
Oh heck no, I was gonna say Shang Tsung.
Yeah, I would put it. I mean, I wouldn't have an issue with him being in there.
And so the poll was like, who's the biggest villain? So it was between Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn, Onaga, who I don't. Well, you played Armageddon, so he was like the dragon thing? You didn't.
Look like I remember that, Jan.
Okay, all right. So me personally, I don't like monster characters in fighting games because usually they're big, they take up a lot of screen, and like when you're fighting them, it's very distracting. So Onaga is like a villain monster character. But anyway, so and then who was the fourth? It was a fourth person, but nobody. I want to say. No, it wasn't quite Shinnok. I guess it was Shinnok.
That name I remember. I
Yeah.
don't remember what it looks like, but I remember the name.
So to me, it was down between Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn, and I have
Like as a top 3 or like just
like out of all four of those people, who is the most iconic villain character?
Okay.
And Onaga and Shinnok, they're not as relevant. You know, people don't know them as much. So Shao Kahn, like I have cases for both to be number one.
It would be for me. It would be between Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung.
Yeah. Did I say something different?
No, I'm just agreeing. Like
Okay.
that would be for. The reason why I say for me because I don't know those other people. But if you were to ask me, it would be between those two.
And the reason I ultimately went with let me say Shao Kahn first. So Shao Kahn, even though he wasn't the first, I believe now he is like when you think boss, you don't think of Shang Tsung anymore because he became playable before Shao Kahn did. But anyway, Shao Kahn was pretty. I don't want to say unbeatable because you have those die-hard fighting game people who take the time to learn the mechanics of the game. But if you were casual, if you got the Shao Kahn, you could not beat him. Like, I don't care who you were.
So you're looking at it from a gaming perspective.
Somewhat. The movie's going to come into Shang Tsung because Shang Tsung was the first boss.
That's yeah.
You know, when you see the movie, "Your soul is mine" is like the iconic line.
That and the theme song.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he was just it. And then like in the games, he's so if you paid attention to the story, he's so conniving. So like he would in the newest game, he allied himself with the good guys for a period of time. But he's just sneaky, and he's just a great villain. So because it's more than just video games with Shang Tsung, that's why I put him number one.
Okay, let me ask you this question, and I'm purely talking about the original Mortal Kombat movie. Who do you think is a better representation of the character from the game? Well, yeah. Well, no. Is that what I want to ask? Yeah, okay. So, do you think they did Jax well?
Okay. All right. I don't. He wasn't in the first movie.
Oh, that's right. He was in the second one.
Okay, I take that back. He was in the first one, but he never fought. So they were like at the docks. Sonya ran off, and he was like, "Sonya, go." Yeah. So
okay. He wasn't really around until the second one.
Yeah. So I don't like to correct you, and especially on but it's like
I don't care, man.
Okay, all right. So of all the characters that were in the first movie, are you asking which one of them most closely resembled who they are in the video game? Oh shoot, they're all so good. Sonya didn't get very much screen time, but I mean the screen time that she did get, they were all.
The only one that I think that wasn't close to, I think she was in the first one. Was it Katana?
She wasn't in the first one.
But see, I get them so mixed up, man.
Yeah.
Because okay.
No, she was. I'm sorry.
Because they was fighting on the beach,
yeah,
right?
She was.
That's what I thought.
It was two different actresses. Yeah, but you're right.
Shout out, she, based on what my little knowledge of the game, I was
Yes.
like, she is nothing like the game.
That is exactly right. Yeah, she was probably the only one.
I was like, this is not Katana.
I forgot she was even in the darn game. But she was like coaching Liu Kang and everything, and
She just was, and I know Katana she's not young in the game, but in the movie, she just looked older than what I would want a Katana to be.
yeah.
I was like, this is good. Katana, like, she 42. Like, that's ain't Katana.
But yeah, so originally, she was on the bad side because she didn't know that Shao Kahn. So originally, it was believed that Shao Kahn took Sindel from Edenia. And I know I'm throwing out words. We don't have to go.
I was with you up until Edenia.
Yeah, we don't have to go through it because now I'm getting too deep.
It's okay. So let's say they do another Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
which we already know they're doing. Have you seen the cast for it?
I know they cast Johnny Cage. I think he's some wrestler. But
That's not what I heard.
Who is he?
Because from what I saw, because you're talking about the Miz or Riz or whatever his name is, he's a wrestler.
Yeah.
He wanted to be Johnny Cage, but from what I saw, what I read, what's the name was in talk with them to be Johnny Cage before he came about. Why am I blanking on his name? Carl Urban.
Huh. Okay.
Apparently, he was already in talks with them before they started talking to the Miz or whatever. This is the Miz, the Miz. And so I guess they, instead of going with the Miz, they went back with Carl Urban. Or at least that's what last I heard. They could have decided to go back to the Miz. I don't know.
So Johnny Cage is very
real white.
That's not what I was going to say.
But he is though. He's the typical like Hollywood white boy.
Well, yeah.
With the glasses and hey guys.
So I just based on Carl Urban's filmography, I don't think he, and I mean he's an actor, so he can, and he can be believable. He's had roles where he was funny, so I don't think that he's not funny. But Johnny Cage is very, let's say Kevin. Obviously, he's not like the comedy style of Kevin Hart. I'm trying to think of the word, but he's like in your face funny. Mm-hmm. He's making jokes no matter what, and I don't like nothing Carl Urban has done has made me feel like that is his character. But he's an actor, so it could happen. Like Scourge from Ragnarok, even though there was some seriousness to it, he was very. It was comedy first, and that was because of Taika Waititi. So I do know that he can be funny.
Yeah, he's him.
Okay.
Well, this was from 5 days ago. We was basically talking about how he's pretty much,
So as far as a new movie, just to kind of answer your question for the new one, is there anybody that
Well, the question I was trying to get to was if they come out because they're making a second one. Mm-hmm. I got sidetracked with the what you call it, but because they're making a second one, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say it comes out and the second one is. I ain't gonna say trash, but it's not good. Maybe not as good as the first one or on the same level or whatever. If you were comparing the two Mortal Kombat movies and sequels, which would be better? Like, I know, like I said, we haven't seen the second one or the new one, but let's say, because a lot of people say Annihilation, I know you liked it.
I love
a lot of people say Annihilation was trash. Mm-hmm. Let's say the second one was trash. Mm-hmm. In total, what series would you like better? Would you say like better?
And so, because I didn't really care for. I watched the new Mortal Kombat movie. I watched it twice. Mm-hmm. I fell asleep on it more than I've seen the whole thing. But if it is on the same level as that, if the second one is on the same level as the first one, I already know that I'm going to like the originals better. I mean, just because I like the second one more than a lot of other people, and I didn't. I'm not going to. It has things. The new Mortal Kombat movie has things that I like about it. But it's doomed to not be my favorite as it is. And unfortunately, it shouldn't be that way. I should go, but I mean, naturally, I'm going to go in comparing. So yeah,
nostalgia.
Yeah.
I think one thing I liked better in the new one than I did in the old Mortal Kombat ones. Is that I feel like they made Sub-Zero more menacing than it was in the old version.
And so, to be honest, all these characters should be deadly. And I mean, compared to each other, obviously deadly against deadly, whatever. But at no point should, I don't want to say Sub-Zero be a boss, but as we talked about it before, Goro was easier to beat than Sub-Zero was. And nowhere else should that be the case.
But I mean, I agree with that. I'm more so talking about just his overall, his demeanor. Like when he showed up, he was like, oh, like in the old movie, Sub-Zero showed up. It's kind of, oh, that's Sub-Zero. This one I was like, oh, he about to wreck some.
Yeah.
I don't know what he about to do. Like he especially the scene where it was at Cole's house, and like you just saw like it was like real dark and the light shows up. You just see him standing at the door. So it. I was like, oh, my man came to do some shit. Hey, but you know, the old one was kind of like, that's Sub-Zero, man. Okay. I like the fight between Sub-Zero. Did they fight? I don't think Sub-Zero and Scorpion fought in the original one. I know they did I know Sub-Zero came out at the beginning of the first Mortal Kombat where he did like the little display at the cafeteria. Mm-hmm. I know Scorpion and Liu Kang had a fight because it was in the woods when he did to get over here. The thing got stuck in the tree.
That was Johnny Cage.
Was Johnny Cage? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so Sub-Zero and Liu Kang fought.
Yes. Yep.
So they fought. What I'm trying to make it is Sub-Zero and Scorpion didn't fight in the original.
Yep.
So to see them finally fight in the new one kind of slightly elevates it for me over the original one. But it's very... Because the original Mortal Kombat, that's my movie. I can't. I didn't really hate the second one. It just wasn't as good to me.
I hear you. Yeah, it wasn't... So the second one was very action heavy, and then like the things that weren't action, there were some narrative choices like them roaming around underneath the ground was kind of weird.
I like that. For me, okay, for the second one, I like the action. Mm-hmm. For me, the reason why it was great, the story just was like, it was kind of okay.
And the story is kind of true to the game. So the first game, the heroes win. Mm-hmm. So it's supposed to start over. You're supposed to win 10 Mortal Kombats. And then, you get to take over the other realm. But since they won 9, and then Earth realm won, then you have to start over and win 10 more. So
it have to be 10 consecutive.
Exactly. And then it's 100 years in between. So of course, like Shao Kahn is pissed off. Like I had it. I should be taking them over. So he tries to figure out another way to do it, and he cheats the system. He puts. Okay, so now I know Sindel's. What she did though. I know. So the story in the game is he puts Sindel. She dies. He puts her in Earth realm, and then he revives her in Earth realm, so he can go over there and get her. And because of that, it's a loophole. He can go into the world and his friends to take her out. So I did the thing that I said I wasn't going to do.
It's all good, man. I feel like that one is deep as when you were about to go earlier. Because you thought out like
names.
Yeah, it's Sindel and Arabalakaba. And then I was like,
Mm-hmm. So now that I think about it, the second movie did have a lot of characters that did not really have a backstory, so maybe that could be a reason that people didn't really care for it.
Well, because they just threw. I feel like they went the route of like, hey, these guys are in the game. Mm-hmm. We got a sequel. Let's put them in without explaining anything.
And as a kid, I was just excited to see them.
Like the Barakas, and they, like all those showed up. It was like, where do these guys come from?
So there is a race of here. Nope.
No, I know there's a backstory game wise, but like movie wise, these guys with these aluminum foil blades, just like, hey, we're gonna kill you, But also, the second one gave me, was it Noob Saibot or Cyrax?
So Cyrax was in it. The yellow.
I just remember the machine. He shot like the missile out of his chest. I was like, oh yes.
Yep.
I was like, now this is, like I said, the action. I love the action in the second one. It's just the story was kind of like.
It does have its issues.
You just all of a sudden take Raiden's power away. He's just a regular guy with white hair.
So you know what's funny? That did just happen. He gave his.
To it in the game.
Yeah. I'll go through it real quick. I have to go through it real quick. So Liu Kang died. So he came back as, let's just say, a zombie, because I'm not going to say the actual name. He came back as a zombie, but the character, the villain, like, is a person who controlled time. Mm-hmm. So she did something, and then like the characters from the old games combined with the characters as you know them. So you had the zombie Liu Kang, and then you had like the actual Liu Kang. Liu Kang was like doing his thing, and then he got to the point where him and Raiden was fighting, and Raiden originally killed Liu Kang, so that's why he was dead in the first place. So when they fought again, Liu Kang was like, listen, you are not protecting Earth, you are just messing things up.
Yeah.
And then Raiden was like, you know what? I think I fight you in every single like universe or time. So how about I just give you my power and you just do whatever you want to do? So what he did was he actually no he killed Liu Kang again, but he went to the zombie Liu Kang, gave zombie Liu Kang his powers, but he also fused zombie Liu Kang with the other Liu Kang soul.
So that's why he has like the fire and
exactly. Yep.
Because I saw that in the trailer where he was like well, something happens in the game trailer. I was like, why does he have? Okay, that makes sense. But no, I just movie wise, it was just kind of like you take Raiden's power. Now he can't wear the hat anymore. Now he's just walking around with no hat.
What is
I have no power. I gotta just wear these regular clothes with these armbands because I'm Raiden, but I'm not Raiden.
Yeah.
I was like.
Raiden is the god of thunder, but I have no thunder.
Then he give his power. I think he got like his powers back at the end of the movie for like one moment. I was like, this sucks.
I'm just call me Timmy now.
What are you doing here, Raiden? Why are you still here? I can't travel, so I must walk amongst y'all.
I had no doubts, guys. I'm just glad that y'all did it. Yeah, I'm proud.
Yeah. Y'all got some water I can drink? I am a little thirsty. No, this is for people who do stuff. I did stuff. That's in the past.
So I know there's a movie like Something's for Closers. Is it Coffee? Coffee is for Closers?
I remember the line, but I don't know the movie though. I want to say Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, I don't know if he says Coffee or Something's for Closers.
Yeah, I remember the line. Something is for closers, but like I said, I can't for the life of me picture. I want to say everything in me is saying Wolf of Wall Street, but I know that's probably not right. And people watching were probably, I don't know who they're either watching or listening. They're probably screaming, "Hey, it's this!"
As a matter of fact, put it in the comments what the actual line is. What is for closers? Don't know. Tell us.
I want to say the line is, it's a vulgar line. So I'm not going to say it. It's a female body part.
Yeah, I was thinking it. The word.
Yeah.
I
feel like that could be wrong as well. I feel like I made that up too. So I watched so many stuff in my lifetime. I don't know. It all kind of blends. That's why I can't keep the Mortal Kombat separate because everything just blends at some point in time.
Speaking of which, who would Leonardo DiCaprio go against if you had to put careers? Like I can't think of everybody's careers are so unique that it's kind of hard to compare them.
If I'm comparing Leo's career with somebody else's career. I don't know. I had to think about that. My first thought was Tom Hanks.
Oh, that's not bad.
Simply because of them being in a movie together.
So I know that I put Tom Hanks against somebody. Who was it? Oh,
Tim Allen.
I don't think there's any competition there.
Hey man, Tim Allen has the Santa Claus movies.
I don't think that compares to Forrest Gump and Castaway.
What other movies has Tim Allen been in? I know he's been in shows, but I can't remember the. Okay, all right. Wild Hogs.
I remember that. Martin Lawrence. Oh, that's.
Oh, wow! How did I forget about Christmas with the Cranks? Good movie.
Okay.
Galaxy Quest.
So I
like that movie.
I know it has a cult following. Some people really like that movie.
I loved it.
I know it always puts me to sleep.
He was in Toy Story.
Yeah. You say that like was Galaxy Quest also with Alan Rickman, Snape?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Big Trouble, which was okay. I liked For Richer or Poor. That was funny to me. That's about it. Crazy on the Outside, I think I saw. The rest of these I haven't seen them.
Would you say Eddie Murphy, because obviously Eddie Murphy has a much longer track of movies.
Jungle to Jungle, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I love that one. Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence.
What about it?
Like, would you say that's...
compare them?
Yeah. I know Martin doesn't have... as long as a track record. But
Movie wise, Martin Lawrence. You don't know all the movies Martin Lawrence has been in?
yeah, I know. Just in my head, Eddie Murphy. I know your movie is Harlem Nights. And in my head, it came out in the 80s, yeah, and I was introduced to Martin in the 90s, so
I feel like you're not putting proper respect on Martin Lawrence's name.
which is probably true.
So I'm just gonna pick 10 Martin Lawrence movies.
Okay, all right.
Out of this list.
Okay.
For me,
Yep.
that I feel like stand toe to toe with a lot of other movies.
Okay.
Well, let me say 10 of his best to me.
Yep.
I'll say it that way.
Yep.
Obviously, you're going Bad Boys.
Yep.
The question is, do you give him the franchise
Let's put Bad Boys 1 and 2 together.
and 3? You know the third one.
They did make a third one. Yeah. Put them all together.
Okay. So Bad Boys, that's one. Oh, I'll let you count because I may not.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's Bad Boys. Now these are, yeah. So Bad Boys.
Yep.
Love It, Thin Line Between Love and Hate.
Okay. I don't remember it that much, but yeah.
Boomerang.
Is that a Martin Lawrence? I mean, Eddie Murphy's in it too.
Yeah, they're both in it.
I don't think. I think you should limit it to movies that he was the starring role. That's my opinion. Like if it's because it's not. I wouldn't. That's Eddie Murphy's movie. He was the main character.
No, Martin Lawrence was a good side. He was him and David, Alan Greer. Yeah, they were all like.
Okay, you said this is yours. All right, so that's 3.
Well, I mean, if you want to take that out, because that takes out life too.
Oh, yes. And I mean, I don't know who would put life in there. But anyway, go ahead. I know. So they co-starred. They co-starred in Life. So
Yeah.
I would put that in there. But Martin was a supporting character. But again, this is your list. So if you want to put it,
So, no, we'll take Boomerang out.
okay.
So we got Bad Boys.
Bad Boys.
Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Blue Street.
Yep.
Big Mama's House.
Yep. Oh, I forgot about that.
Black Knight.
Yep. Okay.
For me, this
Yep.
is for me.
Yep.
National Security.
Is that with Macy? Something Macy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Who else is in the movie with him?
Let me look at it and see.
I mean, I'm if that's what you want to put in, I'm just trying to.
Steve Zahn.
I don't know what that is.
That's his name. Him.
Go back to the I guess the poster of the movie because I don't remember the movie.
No, that's not it. National Security.
Okay, I do
Remember,
remember.
he's like a security guard, but he wanted to be a police officer, but he failed the test. So he ended up having to go on an investigation with Steve Zahn, the white guy, who was like, I don't know if he was a security guard as well. No, he was like I can't remember why they ended up working together, but they ended up working together to stop like this big crime thing, and so he ended up becoming a police officer.
I know I watched it. Okay, all right, so that's 6.
Mm-hmm. Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins.
Okay, yep.
Death at a Funeral.
Oh my goodness. Yep.
What's the worst that could happen?
That sounds familiar.
Him and Danny DeVito.
Nope, I don't remember that.
He was a thief.
That does sound familiar.
And so he came to rob Danny DeVito because he thought Danny DeVito wouldn't be home. And so Danny DeVito ended up being home, so he stole like a ring from Martin Lawrence that his girl had gave him.
Yep.
Because
Okay.
Bernie Mac was in it.
Yeah.
Rebound.
Oh, that's my movie right there. I said you want to substitute anything?
No.
Okay.
The only other thing I would substitute would be Boomerang, but we already said that's. And then House Party, which he's not a star. He's like a support role as well. Talking Dirty After Dark, I like, but that's more of like a, how do I say it, like a guilty. It's not really a mainstream movie that is.
I was gonna say I've never even seen it.
Yeah. You got Open Season, which I didn't know he was. It's been a minute since I've seen it. And you got Wild Hogs.
So okay, so I know that's with Tim Allen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I think that Macy guy's in that movie.
Yeah, William H. Macy.
Yes. Yep, that's what I'm thinking of.
You got College Road Trip, which was okay. Him and That's a Raven Girl.
Raven Simone?
Yeah.
Okay.
she plays his daughter, and so they go like a. It's alright. And the Mind Cage, which I haven't seen, that just came out last year, 2022.
Mayan.
Huh?
What'd you say?
Mind Cage.
Mind Cage. Okay. All right. So there's a lot of movies.
And this one, Beach Bum. I didn't see that. I don't know what that is.
So a lot of the movies that you picked were in your 10, and some of the movies, I think there are a lot of misses there. Like I'm not saying, Martin Lawrence did better when he was like when he was making. Well, I say that, but I didn't really care for Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. But I could be confusing that. So what's the one with Cedric? Is that the one with Cedric the Entertainer?
Well, he put they're like rival cousins.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I know I didn't like that one. And Death at a Funeral, which is
that would probably like out of the ones I listed off, Death at a Funeral would probably be, to me, would probably be the only one that I could be like, I would understand you not really like it.
Yeah, and it had so much potential. There's so many names in that movie, and it was disappointing.
I wouldn't say, to me, I wouldn't say disappointing, but I would say it's definitely at the bottom of my 10 for Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
The only one I would probably substitute for Death at a Funeral will probably be Nothing to Lose. But I like Death at a Funeral more because of the characters in it.
Yep.
So yeah, that would probably be my only substitution. But that would be my 10. Like I said, I give you Death at a Funeral. The rest of them, like, I mean, I know it's subjective because these are my 10.
Yep.
But I'd be like, you don't like what? You don't like this? Like, come on, man.
Okay. Oh my goodness, just the first movie for Eddie Murphy that popped up, Nutty Professor. I would put that over most of the Martin Lawrence movies.
I would disagree. I would say Nutty Professor is Martin Lawrence's Big Mama's House.
Yeah.
I would say they're both basically the same.
So the original. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're starting off so good. So Beverly Hills Cop.
Okay.
The first.
So are we gonna do the whole franchise?
Yeah. So not the one that he was not. I know.
But we're doing the whole franchise.
So anyone that he's involved, like he's the star of, yes. Because I know there's
a star of 3.
Yeah, there's like a Netflix.
Yeah, I ain't talking about that.
Yeah, okay.
The 3, just the 3 movies.
They
started going downhill.
I mean, I was still. I stand by 1 and 2.
I still I'm not. For the record, I'm not saying it's not a good franchise.
Yeah.
I still like it as a franchise as a whole. I just know the 3. That third one kind of dropped it a lot.
So Coming to America.
Okay. The second one dropped it a lot.
Yeah, I know. Harlem Nights I never watched, but I know you like that, so I'm not gonna put that in my 10.
I love Harlem Nights.
Boomerang, obviously. You didn't say any of Martin's stand up, so I'm gonna keep stand up out of it. I can't put Dr. Dolittle. I can't put Life. Can't put Bowfinger.
2 great movies.
Shrek isn't hit, like it's not his movie.
It's not his movie.
Yep. I like I Spy. It's not.
I like I Spy too.
Yeah,
it's great. It's a good movie.
Shoot, this is Norbit.
Okay, I give you Norbit. Should I be counting? Because you counting for me. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's
so
go
Norbit.
Back. Okay, so Beverly Hills Cop.
You said not Dr. Lloyd.
Yep.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yep. Coming to America.
Nutty Professor.
Yep. Boomerang.
Norbit. That's 5.
Okay. I Spy.
Oh yeah, I Spy. 7.
Alright, so I would if I'm trying to argue for Eddie Murphy, I'm not putting Imagine That, but Imagine That.
I like to Imagine That.
Is me and my daughter's movie.
I would put it on the list of if I were doing 10.
Nope. Shoot, we are running out. I didn't realize. Is that it?
Eddie Murphy has not had a lot of. He's had a lot of misses.
Okay. I thought I gotta pick 10.
I wasn't gonna say that earlier, but he has now. Me personally, I would put Bowfinger, and I would put what was the other one? Oh, you said Dr. Doolittle. No, I went
Yeah.
for Dr. Doolittle. Well,
I gotta pick 10.
I don't know. But you're at 7. I mean 6.
Okay.
You need 4 more.
I haven't seen Metro. Okay, let me just.
Oh, it's a good movie. I would put it on there.
I haven't seen 48 Hours.
Oh, with him and Nick Nolte? I would put it on
I
there.
haven't seen The Golden Child.
I would put it on there.
Maybe, okay. So, listen, this wasn't supposed to be you pick one and I pick one and then we. But I mean, I do
No,
like this
I was
format.
just. Only reason I pulled a Martin Lawrence movie because I want you to put respect on his name.
Yeah.
You made it seem like he went out here doing movies. Martin Lawrence got movies.
I have seen Life, so unfortunately I would have to put that on the list because I ain't got anything else.
Let me tell you what my 10 would be.
Okay, there you go. Let's do that.
This is just me. I'm gonna start at the top.
Okay.
Nutty Professor.
Yep.
Coming to America.
Yep.
Dolomite Is My Name.
Oh yeah, that's on my list. I forgot about that one.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yep.
What was it?
I think I had 4.
So.
Excuse me.
Norbit.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're just doing his movies.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy Daycare.
Okay.
I Spy.
Yep.
Showtime wasn't really his movie, but it was a good movie.
He was. No, Dreamgirls isn't his movie.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Bowfinger.
Okay.
Life.
Okay. Okay, one more.
One more. Vampire in Brooklyn.
Have I seen that? Like, I remember it being on a screen in front of me, but I don't know if I've seen it. Like, maybe I just.
Now, honorable mentions of his: Boomerang,
Mm-hmm.
Distinguished Gentleman. Oh, I forgot about Heart of Nights because I'm new to this. I scroll, so I would swap out.
Daddy Daycare or.
Yeah, I swap out Daddy Daycare for Heart of Nights.
Okay.
But yeah, honorable mentions would be The Golden Child, Trading Places, of course, great movie. 48 Hours. It's an older movie. I like it, but it's an older movie. Distinguished Gentleman, like I said. Metro, it's a good movie. Yeah, Holy Man. I like Holy Man too. Now the rest of them, Mr. Church, Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Yeah, see, so I want to say the argument between Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence would be quality over quantity, but you have The Adventures of Pluto Nash and you have Meet Dave, which aren't very quality movies. So,
1,000 Words was okay.
Who? Now that we've had this discussion,
if I were going on based on the list that we presented, who to pick, and I'm not being biased, Martin Lawrence.
So the movies, the Eddie Murphy movies that are on there, I feel they're better. But Martin Lawrence has more movies that I know that I liked. So it was okay. Let me put it more in perspective. So Ludacris, Back for the First Time, has to me like the songs on that album are quality. They're better, but Word of Mouth has more songs that I like, but aren't necessarily better quality than Back for the First Time. So Martin has more movies that I like, but I like Eddie Murphy's movies more.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying you would go with me. I get it.
No, I'm saying I think
you pick Martin.
I would go with Eddie Murphy.
You pick Martin. I hear you. I hear you, man.
Because I went no, but you know what? Dang it. Okay, now I'm contradicting myself because I was going to say if I had to choose between Back for the First Time and Word of Mouth, I usually say I like Word of Mouth more.
You want to pick Martin. It's okay. For the record, it's hard to do either one of these because I love them both.
Yeah.
But if I'm going based off the list that I made and the list that you made, we're going Martin. But if I were making a list, I would go Eddie.
So that's another. And put it in the comments. What do you think, Martin Lawrence or Eddie Murphy? Their filmography. If you want to take the whole totality, or you can actually give us your top 10, Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, and then say who you think had the better top 10.
It's okay to say Martin. No, but in all honesty, like they're both great. Like,
yeah, most definitely.
Because the thing about it is, the hard part about it is, even though because to go to your point, for me personally, this is how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Martin doesn't have a lot of movies, but a majority of the movies he's made to me are great. Like, I would say a percentage of great movies that he's made, I would say he's probably at about 80%, 80, 85. Percentage of movies compared to, well, not compared, but based on the amount of movies Eddie's made, the great movies he has to me is like probably 65 to 70.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that until I started looking at him. But I say,
but he has, but to his detriment, it's only because he's made more movies than Martin.
Yeah, and in my eyes, I think Martin, like I don't like as many Martin movies as you do, so I think it's more even to me. But I just thought Eddie would have more than what he does.
He's had a lot of misses.
Yeah, most definitely.
I think it was like a certain time span. He just kind of just like, this ain't that good, Eddie.
It was all the kids' movies.
Well, I wouldn't.
Because Haunted Mansion, I don't know if anybody's gonna say.
I wouldn't put it in my 10. I like Haunted Mansion is like what's the movie I was talking about with Martin? The Talking Dirty After Dark. Mm-hmm. It's not a movie that I would just like feel like a lot of people would like, but for me, it's kind of I'll watch it. Like when I watch it, if it's on, it's cool. I don't know how I feel about the remake they're doing.
It looks like it's going to be better. I don't want to say it's going to look good, but it looks better.
Yeah, I mean, it does look like, but is it better because it's newer? So you have newer technology, you have more talent in it, or newer jokes.
I know we already moved off the Mortal Kombat but this new Mortal Kombat movie wasn't better than the original Mortal Kombat movie.
No, I'm not saying it is. I'm just providing a different perspective. Like, does it look better because it's new? Because to the argument of the Mortal Kombat, even though a lot of people didn't like the Mortal Kombat movie, the new one, when they saw the trailer, it was like, that looks like it's going to be great.
Yes. Yep.
But then you watch it, it's like, I prefer the original. That could be the same with Haunted Mansion. However, the trailer does make it seem like it's going to be pretty good.
I'm going to watch it.
I'm definitely gonna watch. I'm not gonna pay to watch it, but I'm gonna watch it.
Did I tell you that my daughter watched The Blackening?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was surprised that she said that she wanted to see it because she doesn't like scary movies. But oh yeah, that's right. Because I was telling you that it helped that I was able to tell her when the jump scares were gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because she don't like jump scares.
Yeah. I know that was a very big pivot.
Nah, it's all good. Is this something that you want to talk about?
I think we're Secret Invasion.
Oh, you want to discuss it?
I just want to I guess let it be known that I do believe that Maria Hill is not dead, and I do think that she could be a Skrull.
Okay.
That's all I want to say. And
do you have any evidence?
You don't have to. You didn't have to bring that up.
I'm just asking because it's like, dude. Because like I said, I told you. Outside of the podcast, I don't disagree with you. Yeah. You have no evidence to make me believe your point. It's like you just say it's like you being a Dallas Cowboys fan and saying, well, they're gonna win the Super Bowl. What makes you think that? I don't know, because we're Cowboys. Like, okay.
So
all right.
When it comes down to it, it's really just a hunch. Because like I have the things that make me that kind of support my reasoning, but I agree with you all that it's not very good evidence. Just the fact, if you don't, and I know obviously the video made it seem like she's dead, but if you don't, and then the second episode kind of help, but if you don't see the person,
it helps confirm it too.
But okay, so
then you also have, I know you take this with a grain of salt because actors and actresses they're gonna say what they're gonna say. But then you also have interviews of her basically confirming that her character is dead. It's basically,
well, yeah, obviously.
As I said, you take that, whatever. But just saying, if she were dead and that was, she basically confirmed it. Like,
I think the biggest evidence is really going to be IMDb saying 6 episodes, and it could be off, it could be like misleading, but it's like.
Can I counter you though?
Hold on, I was going to why. obviously they don't want you to feel they don't want to give anything away. But I can't remember seeing her in the second episode.
She wasn't.
Yeah.
The only time you saw her was the flashback of them showing her being shot, and they just kept mentioning her name.
Then that does count. If you saw, so that would count. And obviously it wasn't, I want to say an active role, but that would count on IMDb. So maybe I just don't see them keep flashing back to her dying or anything. So,
or like I said earlier when we talked about it, it could be just other flashbacks. Because obviously they've established they've known each other for years.
True.
So it could be other flashbacks of whatever.
No, I don't think they're going to do a whole bunch of flashbacks. Well, if you are going to say that these people have been here for so long, and then at one point she was a Skrull, she was, I guess she was Maria. Anyway, so yeah, that could be the case.
I mean, it could be flashbacks to show how she became a Skrull. It could be flashbacks to just further establish their relationship.
Okay, so obviously, she was a Skrull at some point. So
first off, spoilers, because I don't know if you've watched the show. We just been talking like y'all just been watching with us.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that Maria Hill, because obviously she was a Skrull. So I'm saying that now she is a different Skrull.
What?
Because she was Talos' wife, not Fury's wife. So she was
Soren.
Yeah, she was Soren before.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not what I'm referring to. I'm saying that I guess somebody
different Skrull than
because okay, so this is getting into spoiler territory. If they are trying to infiltrate Fury, then who else would be better than his right hand person?
Who's to say Fury's not a Skrull?
Oh no, he's not a Skrull.
Why you say that?
Because he's not. I would bet everything.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, but can you?
I'm trying to think, like, if they were to write it that way.
He has been hanging out with us since '95.
So I'll say this: like because they already did have him. Anyway, what I was gonna say is they could, like, it wouldn't be like a cross episode kind of thing. It would be like him faking like he shot Maria Hill. So that they already did that. Not saying that they couldn't do that again, but that would be the only way that I would see him being a Skrull. Like, it wouldn't be, oh, he's been a Skrull for years, or he's been a Skrull this whole season. It would just be like a short kind of thing.
Just a question.
Yeah. Like at some point I was thinking that, but Secret Invasion, the comics, it was.
That's the comics.
I know, but I think that's too much of a deviation. Like, I don't think they would have did that. Especially it's Samuel Jackson's character. He hasn't been in the MCU for a while, so for them to, like, if Samuel Jackson in this show was a Skrull, what is the real Nick Fury doing this whole time? Like, it wouldn't make sense, because right now he's like the only person that is trying to stop the Skrull invasion. So it wouldn't make sense for his character to be a Skrull this whole time trying to stop the Skrulls.
I mean, Talos is a Skrull. He's trying to stop it.
That is true. Okay.
Just saying, man.
But he's been communicating with Talos, so it can't be Talos. So it could it be? It can't be his daughter, because obviously his daughter. I don't see how that could work.
Well, I'm just saying. Point I'm making is, granted, I guess the show has changed a little bit. From what we knew before the show, Fury has worked with a lot of good Skrulls.
Yep.
So he could be a different Skrull that took over his identity.
It could, and just
to help Talos stop. But then again, I mean, it's a show, so obviously they're not gonna come out first episode like, hey, you thought I was Nick, but I'm not. My real name is Bebop Bop or whatever. So I just, like I said, I don't think it's a Skrull, but it's just a thought to have.
Yeah. The
bigger question is, since we're doing spoilers, do you think he knew his wife was a Skrull?
I don't think so. So a big there's a lot of different reasons, and I'm about to prove my first reason wrong, because there's no reason for her to not be a Skrull when he's around if he knows she's a Skrull. But I mean, why would he want to kiss on an alien? I don't think that's.
They fell in love. They fell in love.
I don't think that's Fury's character. Like the way he was treating Talos on the train, that's not his character.
What do you mean?
I'm not saying that Fury was being racist, but he referred to him as reptilian and like all the way he was treating Talos, he would not be kissing a Skrull. It's just not his character. And
I would disagree with that.
The whole time, like since he's been, I don't want to say in the Avengers, but he was against like aliens. He was like, we need to prepare. He's almost xenophobic.
But then he also made a line of talking about how he's seen a good looking Skrull before, and Talos isn't one.
There are white people who say you're good looking for an N-word.
Yeah, that don't mean they don't still mess with him.
That is racist.
But that doesn't mean they don't mess with him though.
I don't. So there are some who would say,
But here's the thing: I get what you're saying, also, but the way the comment came across, it didn't come across with that negative connotation.
I know you're not saying that I don't see that in his character. I think that Gravik is, because he already said that, what did he say? He said that he's not the Skrull, the Nick Fury he remembers. He said he's old.
What they got to do with him loving a Skrull though?
I'm saying why I think the Skrull isn't. Fury doesn't know that this is a Skrull.
Oh, so you're going back? I was still talking about why he can't, because you were making a point about if he knew she was a Skrull, like why she couldn't show her face, and you said you can't see him kissing on Skrull. I'm like, what? Why not? If he fell in love with her,
yeah.
But you're going back to the point of him not knowing. I don't think he knows either.
Yeah. I think that's Gravik trying to, get into him.
Well, yeah, no, because I was gonna make a point that wouldn't make sense though. Because I was gonna say, like, if that was the case, then he would have known for a fact Fury was coming to the whatchamacallit. But then again, she hadn't seen she being his wife. She hasn't seen him for a while, so she don't know where he's at. So like, she couldn't have told him, "Oh, Fury's gonna show up with Talos and them to the Unity Day."
I don't even know what Unity Day is, but
where they did the bombing.
That's what I thought.
Because old girl asked him, she's like, "How did you know Nick was gonna be there?" He was like, "I didn't know, but I want him to be there." So I guess my point is, if Gravik was using Fury's wife to get intel, she wouldn't have known he was gonna be there, so she couldn't have told him that.
I personally think that, he's been giving her looks, but I think, Talos' daughter, he knows what she's been doing. He's just waiting on the right time to reveal it. So I think that he did know that Fury was going to be there, just based on the fact that Gaia, I think her name is, that she met with Fury. I think he knew.
I don't think... You talking about, like, Gravik's been giving Gaia looks?
Okay, so let me. Yeah, he's been giving Gaia looks. So I don't think Gaia met with Fury. I think she met with Talos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding it.
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying that Gravik knows, or he knew that Fury would be there because of Gaia?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's ultimately what I think. Yes. Like, they haven't given us reason to say it now, but I do think that he knows that she's being duplicit, that she's like a double agent, let's say. Even though that's not really, she's on the fence right now.
No, okay. So I'm with you in the sense that he knows he can't completely trust her.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where you're losing me is, if he knows that, then why would he make the statement of telling her that he knew he would be there?
You said that he hoped he would be there.
That's what he said.
Yeah. Well, because if he knew he would be there, how would he know?
That's the point I'm trying to ask.
So so there would be no point in him saying, "I knew he would be there," because she would wonder how he would know, and it would cause suspicion on her because she went to talk to her father.
Okay, I'm lost.
So I know that was I stumbled over my words.
It's not that. It's not just stop, because I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so the point you're making is,
mm-hmm.
Okay, let me ask it this way.
Okay.
If he knew Fury was going to be there,
mm-hmm.
despite what he said,
mm-hmm.
How did he know?
He probably had somebody trailing Gaia.
So what you're saying is, even though he knew Fury would be there, when she asked him, and him making a statement of "I didn't know, but I hoped," that was just all a ruse.
There's a who, I don't remember who says it, but I think actually it was Nick Fury. Compartmentalization. That's not the word. But like people need to know whatever information. Everybody doesn't need to know all the information. So he doesn't need to tell her that he knew, because it wouldn't benefit her or him by telling her. If you get what I'm trying to. So
I get what you're saying, but I guess my follow-up question would be, what would be the point of him making it seem like he didn't know?
Because he doesn't want her to be suspicious of her being duplicitous. Because if he says,
but here's the thing, like, even if he says, "Yeah, I knew," that doesn't automatically mean he's suspicious of you.
Yeah, but you would be more careful. I can't meet because maybe she risked one more. Hey, he knew that you all were coming, but at that point, I would say that you lead into the cliche that he burst in and said, "Hey, look who's here. I knew all this whole time." That would be the time that you would make that reveal. So you don't want to make that reveal too early. Not saying that this show is cliche, but that is a cliche, and they could end up doing that. I just don't think now's the time for him to reveal it to her.
No, I agree with you. I just don't see the point of, if he knew, answering the question differently, saying like, "I didn't know," when you knew.
Because he can still use her as well. Like if
I agree with that. But I guess my point is, like, even if she asks me and I say, "Yeah, I did know," I can still use her. Because if I do say, "Yeah, I knew," even if she is suspicious, she's going to try even harder to become loyal or to prove her loyalty. So I can use her for more missions and then see what she does.
I think so. Real life, yes. But if they are going that cliche route, that does not lead well into the, "Hey, fancy seeing you here with Nick Fury and Talos, but I knew you were a traitor anyway." It doesn't flow into that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but because there's also the cliche of spy movies too, where like, even if I say I knew some information that you knew I shouldn't have known, it still lends to the cliche of like, now I have to cover my tracks more, I guess better or whatever. That's not the proper way to say it. So now I have even more reason to watch you, because now I'm onto you, but you don't know I'm onto you at the same time.
Oh, you're gonna have to repeat that. Like I think I know what you're saying.
So like, okay, if she asked the question, "How did you know he was going to be there?"
Mm-hmm.
And I say, "Yeah, I did know he was going to be there." And then she doesn't ask any follow up. So now in her mind, she's thinking like, "Could he be on to me?" Mm-hmm. Now I got to cover my tracks better. So now he has basically even more reason to watch her, because like she's starting to not act like she normally would, because she's trying to cover up her.
So that cliche leads to her death, and I don't think she's going to die. She could die, because I mean, to be honest, like Gaia is the main character, so she could. But and Talos is not really a main character either, so they can just go away and it wouldn't even matter.
Well,
so,
even if they don't die in the show, they could die later on.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point.
Either way it goes, I'm interested in the show.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see where it goes.
Especially from a spy point of view, because I like espionage, spy type movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, who can you trust? I like this. I can't trust him. Trust her. I tell you who I don't trust.
Oh, I hope it's. Please tell me it's who.
Who I feel like, I don't know if he'll end up betraying Gravik as his right hand man.
Okay, no, that's not who I was thinking. What do you mean you don't trust him? He's already a bad guy.
Huh?
I said, what do you mean you don't trust him? He's already a bad guy.
I don't trust him in the sense of like, I don't trust that he's completely loyal to Gravik. Like, I feel like he could, because you can already see like signs of him not really completely believing, not necessarily believing, but completely like being, like when he was talking to the doctor lady or whatever. She was like, where's my whatever? He's like, old buddy gave the address to the harvest, and he sent me like to so many harvests, there's nothing there. And she was like, I can't remember what she said, but he was like, basically he's talking about like even grabbing can be wrong. So like I can see him not, because he's already kind of like, well, you keep sending these places, like I'm not really believing in you anymore for real.
Okay, so I did not think of it that way. I'd have to keep that in mind. That I was not. Okay, so I don't think that he's a double whatever. I don't think he's. I think.
No, I don't think it's a double. I think it's just like the typical spy cliche of like, you're the boss. I'm gonna do what you tell me to do, but like I don't really believe all your decisions you're making.
Yeah.
As well as like you keep giving me this wrong information, or I think it's wrong because you send these places and there's nothing there. It's kind of like I feel like I could probably do the job better than you, or you're not trusting my advice. It's kind of like, but I'm supposed to be your right hand man. You treat me like a henchman. Like it's that type of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So initially I was thinking that they were doing this because they're trying to give more layers to Gaia and Amelia Clark, but I didn't think of it that way. So I have to look at it from that point of view from now on.
Because that's why I was like I said, it all stems around the scene when he was talking to old girl, the doctor. Because like he said something about like grabbing not being right, or something about how like he didn't think he was giving good information on how grabbing can be wrong. And she questioned, she was like, "What'd you say?" And he was just like, "Don't worry about it, it's all good." So I was like, "Oh, okay." He's starting to get in his head, like, yeah.
Because initially, what was on screen, I'm not going to spoil it, but the reason I guess that things aren't there is because they don't want to introduce this yet. Right. This is more for an end of the season kind of thing. So if you don't have all the pieces, then you can't. You can introduce them now if you had all the pieces. So that's what I'm thinking. That's why I was thinking that he didn't have any harvest because we can't put it together yet.
Mm-hmm. You had me up to the last part.
Yeah, so you can't put all the pieces together into Super Skrull. Like the harvest on the screen, you had Groot, you had the Frost Giant, and you had.
So what you're saying is they don't have those things.
They only had 3, but I'm sure they probably want to get 5 or 4.
I thought they had 4.
I only saw 3.
So you had Groot, you had Extremis, you had Frost Beast, and you had Cold Obsidian.
Oh. Cold City, Frost Beast.
And Extremis.
I only saw 3, but okay. Sounds like they just need maybe one more then.
I saw a theory somewhere where it was like, because originally the Super Skrull was based off of the Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm. And so like since they don't have the Fantastic Four, they're trying to do the elemental route where you have like Groot and then fire,
ice. Yeah.
So
interesting.
I don't know how true that is, but
yeah, and Groot it's stretchy powers in a way, yeah.
Because he can, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. Yeah, that's nice.
It's a good workaround because, like I said, you don't have the Fantastic Four, so
yeah. And then they can come in the future.
I have a question for you.
Go for it.
I know this is probably, I'm not gonna say a stupid question.
Okay.
Mutants.
Mm-hmm.
How do mutants factor in your mind?
I don't want to think about this anymore.
Now that we got 1 million Skrulls out there.
I don't think they're related at all. And Skrulls don't have powers, so I don't think that. I don't know if you're trying to say, is there a possibility that mutants could be still out there like this whole time? I don't think so, because it's kind of hard to have powers, and then some mutants develop physical changes. Mm-hmm. So if you just see a Nightcrawler somewhere, that's different than just a Skrull that's posing as a human.
Or, just bear with me,
Mm-hmm.
could be nothing, could be also wrong,
Mm-hmm.
just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
Could there be mutants out there,
Mm-hmm.
and the same people who were hunting Miss Marvel are collecting them and putting them in jail?
We would still hear about it though. Like,
would you?
Yeah.
Did we hear about the Skrulls start war?
Well, because they're human, like we wouldn't know.
I'm saying though, like, I get what you're saying because of humans. However, we did not hear about this. Oh, this could be Skrulls starting stuff into the show.
I mean, technically, we heard about it in the '90s with Captain Marvel. Well, not the country though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
What
know.
I'm making is you can hear about it when whatever show or movie comes out about it wants you to hear about it.
Yeah, and that's the part that I would never agree with. And I mean, I'm just got to take it because I said this before. I'm just gonna have to take it, but I don't think that that's like right now. If me and you were watching TV and then the first person to get powers like popped up over in Rhode Island, that's gonna be national. Well, not powers, because obviously we have Iron Man and Thor and all this stuff.
There's already power people out here, so it's already a natural occurring thing. So people won't be as shocked by it to the point where like, oh, a random person in North Carolina just started melting. You know, now if he starts committing a crime spree or doing like bad stuff with his or her powers.
But people with powers have become on the news, so I won't say we haven't seen.
Yeah, but not because they just got powers. They're on the news because they did something with their powers.
Right, and a lot of mutants, like when they develop their powers, they do end up hurting people. So we would hear about it. But at what setting would we need to hear about it, though? I just feel it's still. I would need for you to convince me that mutants have been here this whole time. I would have needed some kind of commercial, something going on in the background, because they have like little news broadcasts or tickers at the bottom. I would have need to have something to give me a hint about it back in the day. Like you can't just all of a sudden say, "Oh yeah, we'd had 500 accidents since the 1990s, but none of them were on it." Like you've never heard. Like at no point was there a news broadcast in any of our movies or shows. Like at least give it to me in a show.
I hear you. I guess my thing is my question is, are you saying it needs to be national news all the time? Or could it just be a local broadcast that shows it?
I mean, I feel, national, some of it would have to be national news. Like not every case is going to be national, but I would think that's, I'm just throwing out a random number. If there was 500, at least 10 of them should be national.
Or, if you can look at it from a real world perspective, does the news always cover everything that's necessary?
No, but we do hear about like major events, like DC snipers or school shootings. You hear about these, you hear about these things, and they're not, fantastical. Sure, there are superpowered beings in the world right now, but if a school blew up because Cyclops developed his optical beams, and half of the school fell down and crushed 10, 15 children, you would hear about it.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying. I was trying to get you to look at different angles. That's all.
Like I said, I know at some point they're just going to be like, yeah, mutants have been here. I think that's
well to Marvel's whatever. I don't want to overuse the word detriment because I just like it. But like to their problem, I feel like as much as I like it, as much as it has been a great thing, I feel like Marvel's issue is the connectivity because everything has to connect now. And the reason why I say that is because like this is kind of how they started out. Like it started out with being that this connects to that and this person connects to this, and it all kind of made sense to a certain degree because maybe it was kind of fairly early or whatever. Now it's gotten to the point because now you're adding more characters and adding more things, and it doesn't all immediately connect. It seems more disarray as opposed to like, oh, Iron Man has a movie and you had somebody walk up and say Avengers. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like that's easier to connect as opposed to like you got these 12 people over here, these 9 people, you got this random guy, and they all got to connect to this main storyline because you got these shows on top of the movies. So it's kind of hard. It's like, well, when does this take place? But this happened in the show, but it hadn't happened in the movies yet. So it's like you got a story timeline, but then there's a real world timeline. So it's like things don't line up, and so it causes people to be like, instead of watching a show and being like, oh, this is a great show, we're watching the show to be like, well, how does this tie into everything else?
See, one thing that kind of, you know, hurts that is that everybody's pretty much in New York. And you know, it naturally, there should be some kind of connection. And on YouTube, I was talking to some people, and they were saying they don't understand why Miles Morales can't just go to Chicago. And I'm like, I don't see why Chicago doesn't get a lot of love to begin with. I know it's my city, maybe I'm a little biased. And one person was like, because New York has a lot of tall buildings. Downtown Chicago has a lot of tall buildings. There is, like, that's...
Yeah, but the fact that you had to specify downtown.
New York, the city.
Mm-hmm.
There's like uptown, upstate, uptown, whatever's upstate, and that's not just like downtown. That's not...
No, I get what you're saying, but just based on the way you said it, it's like, yeah, New York compared to downtown Chicago, it's like, if I didn't know, you know what I'm saying, if I hadn't been, just hearing the statement, I'm like, oh, so what? So Spider-Man can only swing downtown Chicago?
Yes, unfortunately, that's all. I mean, you can make stories about other places, but yeah, if you want to it has to be downtown. Swinging. That's
no, but I get what you're saying. All of New York doesn't have tall buildings either.
Yeah.
But it's just, like I said, the way you said it made it seem like, come be Spider-Man. And this block is...
Yeah, I do have to specify.
Just right here. Just right here. Oh, there's crime over there? On the south side? I can't help you. I'm sorry.
That's where we need you the most.
Downtown, I got you. I got you downtown.
Don't get killed unless you're downtown.
Spider-Man, help! You too far. You too far away.
Yeah, my webs don't reach that far.
What I said, it can't attach it at the side. Why is Spider-Man on the bus? I gotta get there.
Give me about 30 minutes. Stay alive. Fight for your life.
Just survive. Hang on. Oh man, I would watch it. I don't know though, because like when I watched the trailer for, never mind, that negates it. Yep. I was gonna say I watched the trailer for the new Spider-Man game. Mm-hmm. He was on like the water and out there on like but he was slinging off of like drones and stuff. Yeah. So that kind of helped out a little bit.
Yeah, I've got I don't really have any backing.
Hey, listen, Spider-Man ain't gonna be in Huntsville either, so I get it.
You say he's gonna be what?
He's not gonna be in Huntsville either.
So. Oh, there's buildings. I mean, they're making efforts though.
Yeah, Huntsville is changing. I'm not gonna lie.
Most definitely.
I don't know if it's for the better, but it's changing.
You're taking all, and I'm not a tree hugger, but you know the model, and it's not obviously Huntsville isn't all of Alabama, but the model used to be Alabama the Beautiful.
I guess I don't know.
I'm
from Alabama. I don't know.
I think they changed. Yeah, they changed it to Sweet Home Alabama, but
yeah, that is it.
And they're taking all the trees down now. Just apartments got to, who needs trees? We need more people.
What if Chicago wasn't windy? What would y'all be called?
Beach City.
You going with that?
Yep, I stand by it. No, I know.
Hey man, I was gonna let you have it. I wasn't gonna say it. I was really gonna let you have it.
No, but that's a good one. That is a good one. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is crime related. So, the home of Al Capone. There you go.
But see, I mean, I know this is probably not. I don't have the best, whatever. But like, I've been to Chicago a few times. Mm-hmm. Granted, I've only been to certain parts, but like, it don't. The way Chicago is portrayed is portrayed as like crime is just around every corner. Mm-hmm. Like you just walk, oh crime, let's do crime. Oh, that's crime. As opposed to like when I went, I was on the south side. I stayed. We was outside. It didn't. I'm not saying crime didn't happen outside of my bubble, like maybe a couple miles away, but like it didn't seem like a crime-riddled city to me.
So the thing, obviously they're not just out here. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't just rob a random person. But one, they're not going to go downtown. I mean, I would say that crime doesn't happen downtown, but
it's less likely.
Yeah, exactly. But if you are in that kind of life, So let's say that you maybe not even in that life, but maybe you're related to somebody that's in it, and maybe that person just happens. There's nuances to it. It's not just like happening to random people.
But that's how they make it seem.
Yeah.
They make it seem like if you go to Chicago, you better have a bulletproof. You have a John Wick suit. Cause you gotta walk around. Which, by the way, that's just. I get why they did it. But it's just
because it's a headshot. It's a headshot franchise.
I was saying I get it, but it's like when you have a fight against 2-3 people doing that, it just looks stupid.
I will say one thing that I did like the whole time that I was watching this movie. Everybody had body armor, and in movies typically body armor means absolutely nothing. So one reason I think the fight scenes lasted so long is because you're shooting the armor, and while it doesn't kill them, it hurts and it affects them. But then you have to get in and then try to shoot their neck or something. So in the movie, body armor mattered.
It was one subtle thing that I liked. It made me smile. When they got towards the end, they was taking their jackets off, and you heard the shells falling out.
Yes.
I was like,
yep.
That's what's up.
All right, so this didn't take away from the movie for me, but it was more amusing. So there were stipulations at the end of the movie. Like he was at the bottom of the stairs, and he needed to be at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
It lasted a lot longer than those stipulations.
You mean time-wise?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a okay to mediocre stair fight scene as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like to be honest, the whole time I was like, but you need to be on the top. Like it was an action scene. Like to be honest, some of the action scenes were to me there just because they needed action. And I feel like the stair scene was that. So, and like you said, I was more like, this is fine, but he needs to be up there, and we're wasting time. And
okay, I'll let you feel. I'm sorry.
No, I mean that's pretty, and obviously that added to the stakes, but
that's what I was gonna say.
It got to the point where it was not realistic.
To your point, well, I guess to counter your point, because you were saying like some action was added just for action scenes. With the stair scene, like you said, I think it was added to add stakes to the for the old buddy trying to stop him from getting into whatever.
Yep.
My only issue with it was I think it did go on a little bit long.
Yes.
I was like when he finally got up there, I was like, okay, cool. But then the old buddy hit him and knocked him
Start over again.
Okay.
Like this is like
I was in the movie, so I was like, come on, you got come on, man.
Like if we believe that it was 6 minutes at first, it's definitely past 6 minutes now.
Yeah. But when has time ever been that accurate in movies and TV show?
Right, the countdown.
You watch Dragon Ball.
You didn't have to go there. You did not have to go
there. A 5-minute fight takes how many episodes?
You didn't have to go there.
But is it not true?
That was back in the 90s.
But is it not true?
Yes.
I would blow this word up in 3 minutes. 17 episodes later.
They're moving so fast, though.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, but they talk too, so.
They do.
Yeah.
It's not to have a whole dialogue.
Yeah. I can't argue against it.
It's all good, man. You want to do Would You Rather before we go?
Let's do it.
I didn't have nothing planned. I just thought about it. Spur of the moment, James. That's how we roll around here.
I think I need another. I mean, the tripod's doing its thing, but it's broken, and it messes with the level. That's out of nowhere, I know.
I feel like this is a little early to ask this question, but I'm gonna ask it.
Is it about the submarine?
It's not related, but it's related.
Okay.
Would you rather live in a space station?
Yes.
Or a deep sea submarine?
Obviously a space station. But all the time that we're spending trying to go to space, we could be, if overpopulation is such a thing, we could be building some BioShock kind of biomes underneath the water right now.
I'll live in a space station.
Yeah.
That was a dumb one.
Space is so cool.
Would you rather only talk in third person or never be able to call someone by name? I'm doing not calling anybody by their name.
Yeah, that's what I would do too. Because I mean, you can definitely refer to other people as other things.
I do it all the time. I do it most of the times anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, James isn't gonna like calling James. No, I'm like, that's stupid.
I would get on my own nerves after a while.
Like if it was something everybody did, then yeah, I mean that's common. But no, if it's just me, no, I couldn't do it. Especially
like I can see a scenario where if you talk to the third person, you walk to like everybody see you coming like, oh, this guy.
Yeah.
James is excited for the event.
James has arrived.
Oh, I'm gonna do a few more.
Okay.
Well, this will be the last one. Would you rather never talk to anyone again or never eat a meal that tastes good again?
No, we're not talking to people. Listen, I'm already socially out, and I always talk about people diagnosing themselves all the time.
It's so quick, James.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I can write you.
But is that a form of communication?
It didn't say communication; it said talk.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying, but like, if it were changed to like having no form of communication, like
no, I don't think that. So initially, I mean, that was what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like to eat, even though I should eat less. I should eat less.
Well, it never said the good foods you eat can't be healthy.
Yeah.
It's just you can't have anything that tastes good to you.
There's no. Those were the words specifically.
Yes.
No. It's we ain't talking. We ain't talking. It's easy. No, I mean,
I'm going with not talking again either.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing because before I get finished, you're like, oh, we're not talking. You didn't even think about it. You didn't take time to discuss it. You're just like, no, not talking about it.
It's easy.
I would have a dry erase board everywhere I go.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. And then, I just have some, like a Ouija board. I'm just have like pre-made yes, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or nowadays with technology, you can have technology talk for you.
That's true. Get you a Stephen Hawking's kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's gonna sound awkward. James, I would like to know if you will play the basketball.
Here comes James.
Oh, here go AI James, y'all. AI James around the corner. Hello, guys. How are you?
Welcome to the class. I will be training you how to do Google. Oh,
where would you like your fiber, Jack?
Oh, so horrible.
Oh, well, it's been fun, James.
Yeah, I love it.
My mind always goes too far. Because now I'm just thinking about, like, let's say you with a lady.
Maybe, yep.
Oh, right there.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
You like
what's his name from Mandalorian? We hit the little robot.
Yeah. Oh
yes.
my goodness.
Yes. Yes.
Listen, I wanted to cut the show off. I can imagine how a lady would. Oh, and let's say she did want to end it, and it's like, no, you are going to take it.
Do you like that?
Oh.
All right, James. We gotta wrap it up.
Okay, you can find me on Instagram, HAPPEE __ MILOS. You can find me on Instagram, HAPPY _MILOS.
You can find me on Instagram at DA _ bear 29. I was about to do it in a robot voice. We have an Instagram page, big and short of it all. We also have a TikTok page. A renewed TikTok page.
We'd love it if you came and supported us.
I want to say it's big and short of it. I don't know what it is. Type in big and short of it all, big and short of it.
You'll
find it. I don't even know what to put on the page anymore.
I do want to say I stopped putting links to our stuff because sometimes I get kind of passionate on my comments.
Oh man, hey man, James. The people, as they say on the internet, there's always somebody that will agree with you.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Take care, guys.